Hail, bird of prey! 5! Hail, Karuga! Qapla! Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Esri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bird After Dark. It's the middle of the night, it's 2 a.m. Eastern Time on technically Wednesday, the 20th of September, 2023. And I'm wide awake, as is Mamo Prey. We went to bed a bit early, figured we'd wake up at some point tonight, and figured, screw it, why fight it? We'll wake up a couple hours, who knows, maybe less, maybe more, and then we'll get more sleep, and sleep a little late, perhaps, come morning. So we're here. And Thomas Potts, first in the chat, says it's so after dark, it's almost before light. Well, I didn't know what to call it. After dark sounded right to me. John Meyer says, howdy, Bird. Howdy, John. Carlo Albanese says, hail, Karoga. Hail, Karoga, Carlo. The Random Menace, Qapla says, greetings from the future. Greetings, future man, current father. And Mamo Prey has already got her Wordle clue and completed it. Oh, and you already know, apparently. And Carlo puts in the Karoga flag. Thank you, Carlo. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all. One day, Bradley, one day I'll figure out how to say zup, y'all. I think I got it. Sean Carter says, late night, Bird. Yep. Late night, early morning. Either way, both. Carlo Albanese says, if the early bird gets the worm, what does the late night bird get? The what, Mom? The spam. Oh, the late night bird gets the spam. Are you gonna give me the spam? Oh, can't reach it. Dang. Mike Richards, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Sean Carter says, Carlo, kissing Dax? Maybe. Captain Finity is in the house. Qapla, Captain Finity with a shot. Carlos is Dax for the win. Well, we can do it this way. We can do some Dax. There you go. LDG at Free the Net. Of course, LDG's awake. Welcome, LDG. How long you been on? Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Carlos says it's not Sunday. And Thomas says I've been on for 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours, LDG. You missed it all. Bradley Briggs' salty tracker refused to say "zup y'all" for the longest time, but eventually gave in. I wonder how he's doing. He was in Las Vegas the other day on a flight. I believe he was coming back from the Pacific Northwest with his daughter, something like that. He was going to see his daughter, and then she was coming back with him. I don't know the details. I think he's back. I'm not sure. I hope his trip went well. Qapla, Professor Brainy Specs. Wow, seems like everybody's up. And LDG is like, what? Carlos says late night bird with the X. No XXX. And LDG says, I'm not still up. I'm in bed. Oh, you're awake though. That's what matters. Okay, so I already feel okay, and yes, I'm going to put out the panel link in a minute. But I feel a bit guilty. I thought about it, and I didn't have time to render a new opening credits. Every time I have new subscribers, I put their names in the crawl that goes across in the opening credits, and I neglected to do that. And then I realized there's like 15 names behind when I come up on StreamYards. So we're gonna go give our subscribers, our members, our paid subscribers, some love that they deserve. And we're gonna go through the list of our. Currently, there are 61. Holy shit! 61 subscribers. The majority, well, about half, have been paid subscribers that generous channel members or channel friends have paid for additional subscribers, additional members. And that's very, very kind of those of you, especially John Araki, who's, I think, probably contributed 15 of these members, if not more. LDG has contributed a fair amount as well, and others out there. So thank you guys. But with that, I want to welcome, if you ever see it, if not, still I welcome Sean Estep, Qapla, Todd Jenny, Aberjam UK, Mike Richards, Robert Hammer, Immortal Technique, N. Greedia, Mikey Sues 4, Deej Odyssey, Keely Chow, Grandfall, Sean Cotter, Suzanne Eckstein, Substance D, Mr. Awesome, Stan Lee, Del Tashlin, Ken Jack Ben, Fodder Stomp, Josh Street, John Araki, Resolute Germ, John DeMarco, JP's Tabernac, Joseph Dredd, Cody Guy, Mar Krell, Roosters, Taylor Swift, greater than, and unfortunately the name goes off the screen, greater than Disney World, I believe it goes. Dan Ben, Gorilla's Random Thoughts, Bradley Briggs, Commodore Ty, Words and Pictures, Mr. CCDV, Aravik Sonder, The Traveler, LDG, hashtag Free the Net, Joe Taylor, Jedi Bill, Yvette, the lovely Yvette, Sci-Fi Nation, The Random Menace, Richie Poole, Forza Jersey, Pop Culture Curator, Captain Fandom Nerd, Mexican Iron Man, Rock Solid Productions, Shooter 8323, Antiderivative Jill, Star Trek Nitpickers, Spike, Life with Matthew, Professor Brainy Specs, Hawk 77, Chris Perzer, Not Ryan Johnson, Illegal Clown, 47 Yorktown, and Carlo Albanese. Wow, indeed, Mamo Gray. Wow, indeed. And that was the reverse order that YouTube has members listed in. And I will put a little asterisk that the Random Menace and Carlo Albanese were initially within seconds or minutes of each other, my first channel member. So, yeah. Thank you, guys. And thank you. It's crazy. I'm very appreciative. Fact, at 60, I should see, are we eligible for a new emoji? Let me check that out. Memberships, perks, emoji. No, we need 14 more members. Okay, no. So not anytime soon. And I don't even have a thought on what the next emoji would be. So it's no worries. Okay, let's get the panel invite out. Where are we? Josh Street says Bird is up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. He must be facing insomnia. Actually, no, not at the moment. What? Wait, Taylor Swift? It's not the real Taylor Swift, Thomas. Math Man says, hell yeah, late night. Qapla, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Math Man. The new name. That's Math Man. Huh? No, not Matthew. Math Man. Yes, Math Man. Like not a woman, but a man. Oh, why are you saying it? No, that's not Nephew O'Prey. Nephew O'Prey loves his counting. Carlo Albanese says, I think he's making up these names. I've never heard of any of them. Yeah, there's a lot of suspect names. You're not last, Carlo. Well, it was last because YouTube gives them in the opposite order as which they were purchased, or at least that they were assigned. So I'm first, basically, yes. Random was first, exactly, but for some reason, YouTube always put you first, Carlo, and I think it had to do with the the payment the payment method and or the money, the currency used. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird, I'm up late because I actually fell asleep early this evening and slept for about 3.5 or 4 hours and woke up again. And that is actually the way people used to sleep, Professor. It's called first sleep and second sleep. And that's actually what the human body seems to be made for. It's Mamo Prey found out that natural sleep cycle is to have a few hours. You wake up in the middle of the night, go do visit neighbors. This is what people used to do back in the day before, industry and jobs and 9 to 5 and electricity. People would wake up in the middle of the night. They would socialize a bit, and they would go back to sleep for a few more hours. So yeah, and I'm pinning the link to join. Oh my God, I forgot to turn off that goddamn heart. I forgot to turn off the goddamn heart in the chat. I have to go back and do that. Miranda Menace says, I need to send the little one to Betty Ford. She's addicted to the bottle. Well, that's not yet. Mama Price says not yet. They sometimes they can wean themselves. Carlos says it's because I'm awesome. That must be. That must be. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird, yes, I've read about first and second sleep. Books are knowledge. If only there was somewhere you could put a whole bunch of books so that people could read them at their leisure. I would call it a book house, and I would staff it. I would call the people who work there bookers, professional bookers. Yes, Carlo, sex at 3 a.m., I imagine. Professor Josh Street says, the Professor Brainy Specs, don't let Bird know or he might use his knowledge for evil. And Ozzy NF, hi Ozzy, Qapla says hi people. Good morning, Ozzy. Or late. Or middle of the night. Oh, yeah. So when I go off to sleep these days, I find myself watching YouTube videos on the history of the universe, like astronomy, cosmology, not cosmetology. That's makeup, isn't that? No, I'm talking cosmology, galaxies and the Big Bang and theoretical physics and all that types of videos, the speed of light, multiple dimensions, how big the galaxy, the universe is, multiverses, things of that nature, stars, what came before the Big Bang type stuff. And not because it's boring, but it's just interesting enough to keep my mind from thinking about the scary stuff, the nonsense, the the day-to-day things that drive you crazy if you dwell on them. But not so interesting as to keep me awake and engaged, I guess, in the deal. But I started thinking, as I often do, and it doesn't make any sense. The universe doesn't make any sense. The fact that life exists, forget life. Forget life. The fact that fucking rocks exist, that the planet exists, that there's space, that there's matter, that there's energy, that there's stars, the fact that any of existence exists is bullshit. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think we really do exist. I think this is all bullshit. It's clearly makes more sense that we're somebody else's dream or that this is none of this is real. This can't be real. How the fuck did this happen? Does it make any bit of fucking sense that one day there was nothing? Nothing ever existed? And then all of a sudden there's a fucking big bang? Like where? Where the fuck is there a big bang? It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. There was nothing. There has to have been nothing. But on the other hand, the fact that we're here means there had to have been something. And if there was something, where the fuck did it come from? You said God. Fuck you. Where did God come from? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay? No. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that something can come from nothing. But if I refuse to believe it, how the fuck did I get here? I want to smack myself in the fucking face. It doesn't make any fucking sense. The only fucking solution is that none of this is real. None of this exists. And one day, no, fuck you, science. Fuck you. I'm there. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And it annoys me. No, it didn't always exist. Let's see. Let's go back in the chat. Professor Brainy Speck says he's evil enough already. Sean Carter says, books, my books. Samuel T. Cogley, attorney at law. Bradley Briggs says, bird slaves will no longer get 1 8-hour-long break. They will get 2 4-hour ones, 12 hours apart, first and second break. Well, I mean, that's probably preferable. Carlo Albanese says, how life began on Mars and where are the survivors? I don't, oh my God, it doesn't even make, we're so far. Forget life. Life doesn't even make any sense. I mean, once there are stars and planets and galaxies, then fine. I mean, life makes sense. What doesn't make sense about life is that there was any matter to create life to begin with. Josh Street says, Bird, Amazon Kindle, and most libraries have an online way to check out digital versions of their books. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Professor Brainy Speck says, it's all quantum. Ask Janeway. Murder Hornet says, yo, welcome, Murder Hornet. How are you doing? Carlos says, energy is life, and life is energy. See, that's the double talk. It doesn't mean anything. Hey, Mamo Frey.
Hi.
Mamo Frey is looking at the microphone. What would you like to say, Mamo Frey?
Well, hello. Good morning, good evening, good day, whatever it is. Well, I heard you when I was outside and asking, where did you come from?
I know where
I can't answer for the universe, but I can answer for you. I know exactly where you came. One November day in 1978, the doctor said, Mama, pray, it is time for your bird to hatch.
Ah.
Aha. And he said, but this bird isn't hatching on its own. So it
The egg
needs a
is
little
too
help.
big.
Right. It's too big for your little body. And he said, do you want to be awake for this? And I said, not really, but I don't have a choice. And he said, you won't feel a thing. The egg will come out and hatch on its own. Well, and he went snip, snip, snip right across my belly, and up popped an egg. And there you are. See?
That's how babies are made.
That's how Birdo Prey was hatched.
Thank you, Mama Frey.
You're welcome. Now I'm going back to my games.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Oh, by the way, the neighbor's lights kept going on while you were saying what the fuck. Yeah, I'm joking.
Last son of K, says Qapla Bird, and hello all. So Carlos says energy is life, and life is energy, and also only energy. Professor Brainy Specs says Bird of Prey 5, if we're someone's dream, why does that someone exist? That's the problem, Professor. That's why it makes no effing sense. But we are the dreamer and the dream. LDG says it always existed. Bradley Briggs says humans only exist because stars exploded. Without the stuff from those explosions, we couldn't possibly exist. That's what they tell us. But to be honest, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense. Josh says this is all just a dream of Sassy, and the sassy emoji. Yeah. It's very possible. Carlos says there's no Big Bang, just expansion. And LDG says no before. Sean Carter says, I like the notion that we're all part of the universe. And because of that, the universe is self-aware and asking itself where it came from. Yeah, I'm starting to think that. I'm starting to think like the traveler on TNG, that mediocre writing of the traveler on TNG when he's trying to tell Wesley at the edge of the universe, thought is not so different. That he's actually pretty close. I feel like if you really meditate enough or become in tune with the universe, that you will somehow, I don't know, be able to control it, be able to ascend. Something. There has to be something. There's a part there. Thought has to translate into control at some point. It has to happen. There has to be a way that if you think or concentrate or figure out the trick, you can become a fucking virtual god. The Random Menace says the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. Yeah, that is true. And Murder Hornet says, "Who made God?" Exactly. Exactly. Sean Carter says, "We tend to think of ourselves as separate from the universe, but we aren't." Exactly. Also, Carlo Albanese says, "Mamo Bray brought you here." That's right. That's right. Bradley Briggs says, "The universe is a giant donut-shaped thing that is constantly recycling itself." Donuts. Oh, Homer Simpson. Last Son of K says, "Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just exists in different form. Energy is just forms." Damned autocorrect. True last, says Murder Hornet. Captain Infinity says, "Nothing makes sense." Well, you seem to make sense of time travel. Carlo Albanese says, "The big question, what if each and every one of us are the same person, just on another experience? Wouldn't you want to help yourself, not bully yourself?" I don't know, Carlo. I mean, that's a ridiculous. Anything is possible, obviously. The fact that you're here to even make that suggestion, that I'm able to read it, that fucking photons exist, electrical signals exist, technology exists, education exists, all the from God knows how many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of years ago, ancestors of ours were fucking smashing rocks and creating fire, and all that happened. Every person in your family line, every food they ate, every berry they ever picked, every animal they ever hunted and killed and ate, and they ended up living through God knows what terrible diseases, wars, and it just, and all for that, for you to be here tonight to type something on the other side of the world for me to read. Holy shit. Forza Jersey says, "What's up, folks? Qapla. Qapla, Forza." LDG says, "The universe is heaven, bird." I don't know about that. Professor Brainy Specs says, "It's Mamo Pray. We love you, Mamo Pray." LDG says, "If you see it my way." I don't. Forza says, "Hail, Mamo Pray." Carlo Albanese puts in a hug for Mamo Pray. Captain Finn. And Mamo Pray says, "Carlo, she loves your pictures." Captain Infinity says, "It's consistently my experience that those that say you are another me are precisely the people that will F you over." Well, I don't know about that. It's possible. Carlo says, "Told you it was Mamo Pray." Yes, you did. You correctly called that, Carlo. And Carlo says, "Wait, bird came in an egg." It was a bird. So what came first, the bird or the egg? The chicken or the egg? That's tough, damn it. Carlo Albanese, it explains so much, says Professor Brainy Specs. Last Son of K yells, "Mamo Pray." Streamer. Carlo Albanese says, "Bird is not of woman born." Bird is not of woman born. Oh, because I was hatched. Murder Hornet says, "Bye. Take care, Murder Hornet." Forza Jersey says, "Howdy, birdie. I'm glad. Howdy, bird. I'm glad you hatched." Thank you, Forza. Sean Carter says, "Whenever Mamo Frey talks, my face hurts because I'm smiling the whole time." Aw, Sean. And that's a very cute doggy picture there, Sean. Thomas Potts says, my goodness, what kind of medication are you on? That's the problem, Thomas. I think I need to be on some type of medication. But then I get all upset because every medication has such fucking terrible side effects. Like, I can't take any medication anymore because any medication I look up, and as soon as I start reading the side effects, they're like, can cause painful death, cause fucking bone to start growing through your fucking abdomen. And the worst horrible pain death you could imagine. It's only a 12% chance though. It's a 92% chance you'll get diarrhea and or constipation at the same time. 4% chance you'll start throwing up blood. And about 2% chance that it'll actually do what it says it does, with only minimal side effects. Right. Right. The side effects end up worse than the condition it was treating. Last on the case says, if existence is someone else's dream, why do we have to share it with these flaky idiots in this world? I wish I knew. Sean Carter says, we are Beeger. I wish we were. We want to join with our creator. Forza Jersey says, we all come from a big bang, either in a cosmic or what our parents did. Mama Frey said she was waiting for someone to say that. Carlo Albanese says, we are so far from being one with the universe, and if we could control it, we would probably destroy it. Well, Carlo, I would think that would be the logical conclusion. The logical conclusion of life is to destroy itself. At least that's what it seems to be. And you know what? I think that's probably an admirable goal. Destroying the universe. Destroy it. I think everything would be better off if the universe never existed. I'm completely fine with dedicating, 20% of the world's GDP to finding a way of destroying, not the planet, because we could destroy the planet. I want to destroy all of existence. Unraveling all the fundamental forces, not just gravity. We've got to break the strong and the weak nuclear forces. We've got to neutralize electromagnetism. And then we've also got to eliminate gravity somehow. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Qapla. Carlos says, science does not prove nor disprove God. It just explains the method used. LDG is lolling. We are everyone. Explains everything. It explains nothing. Forza says, God only knows. I find myself saying that over and over. Carlo Albanese says, if you forget about someone, do they no longer exist? That's a very good question, Carlo. And honestly, I think that's true. Forza says, too much to just be a random bunch of crap. Again, also true. Daniel's Hot Topic says, oh, hi, Bird. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Last on the case is Bird is Mork. Mork. What, from Mork and Mindy? That's the only Mork I know. Did Mork used to contemplate this type of stuff? I'll be honest. I was never a Mork and Mindy fan. Robin Williams, he didn't do a lot for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a great comedian, but he wasn't my great comedian. Sean Carter says, here's a cool thing. We've traveled about 33,000 miles in our orbit around the sun since you started the stream. Well, by now, you probably double that. That is interesting. And how many thousands or millions of miles have we traveled in our orbit around the Milky Way? I'd guess it's even more. Forza Jersey says, Nanu. Yes. Joshua says, if bird is an egg. Oh, that's why. Okay, right. Mork came in an egg. I remember that much about Mork and Mindy. If bird is an egg, does that mean bird is Eggman? We just need to keep bird away from walls and blue hedgehog. Okay, that I don't get. That reference, I don't get. Professor Brainy Specs is bird. The medication shouldn't exist, so the side effects shouldn't exist. Exactly. Antiderivative Jill Qapla says, oh my goodness, I'm going to sleep and I see a bird. Listen to the bird, Jill. The bird is wise. Sleep. Go to sleep. Listen to the bird. The bird will chirp. Last on the case is, if bird is the Eggman, does that mean the walrus is LDG? Is that Sonic the Hedgehog characters? Forza Jersey says, I always say to my wife, this planet would be great without all these crazy people. Miranda Menace says, if this is a simulation, somebody royally effed up the code. Fair enough. Professor Brainy Specs, oh my God, bird wants to destroy everything. Bird is Davros with the reality bomb. I don't know who Davros is. Carlo Albanese says, reverse the spin of the quarks. Absolutely. Reverse all the spins. Antiderivative Jills says, so bird wants Harvey Cthulhu to push the button that would destroy the universe. Well, Harvey can't push the button. Somebody here has to push the button. And yes, Jill, I'm totally on Team Harvey at this point. I'm sorry, but hashtag Team Harvey, push the button and just get it all over with. When the asteroid that's going to end all existence on this miserable planet hits, I just want to make sure it hits square on, right into New York City. I want to be obliterated. I don't want to be the poor assholes on the other side of the planet that the whole planet starts shaking and all fucking volcanoes and shit start erupting and the sky turns black. And, we die in 3 days because all the atmosphere is sucked out into space. I'm not nuts. These are things that bother me. I'm concerned. But they all have a chance of happening. A non-zero chance. In fact, on enough time, they will happen. Unless we get to a technology that we can control asteroids with fucking tractor beams. And that doesn't seem like we're ever going to get there. Oh, Mama Pray says LDG can solve that in a week. Prometheus, I guess, will solve it for us. Daniel's Hot Topics is the only real universal truth. All hail the future ruler of Earth, Lord Doomcock. That could be true. That could be true, especially if he's going to push the button. Last on the case is Mork arrived on Earth in an egg. Yes, okay. Thank you. I did recall. Andrew Jill says, "Oh, Doomcock has to push the button for Harvey." That's right. She's like, "I'm too sleepy to be awake." Jill, you need to get some rest. Get some sleep. I love you being here, but get some sleep. Carlo Albanese says, "Got to take my son to school. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Take care, Carlo. Hope you have a good day with taking your son to school." Hail Karoga, hail Karoga. The Random Menace is the difference between poison and medication is the dose. Very wise statement. Sean Carter says, "Hi to Antidote Jill. I wanted to join the panel today and had meetings. I hope I can join soon." To the panel, he means Antidote Jill did a stream today on Patterns of Force, aka the Nazi episode of Star Trek, the original series. And I also tried to be on the panel. Jill, I had hoped to be on it, but I was unfortunately busy with other stuff at the time. But I watched, I listened to most of it. It went very well. It was a good stream. And also, congrats to Antidote Jill. She just hit 500 subscribers. So big congrats. Forza Jersey says, "Bird destroyer of worlds. Not if I can help." Well, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Fine. I'll destroy the world. Antidote Jill says, "Hey, Sean, that sounds great." John Street says, "Bird, Eggman is always turning the animals into robots." Okay. In Sonic the Hedgehog. Blue Hedgehog is for the wall. Humpty Dumpty. Sonic is the blue hedgehog. As for the wall, Humpty Dumpty. Okay. Got it. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put him back together again. Why were they trying to use horses to put together an egg? Why is there why does the king have an Eggman? And if you had an Eggman, why would you leave him near a window that he could fall, or on a wall, or whatever he fell off of? I guess he was on a wall. Why would you put him on a wall? Last on you put Eggmen in cartons with 11 other Eggmen. Last on the case is the Eggman and the Walrus comes from the Beatles. Oh, okay. That one I did not know. The Eggman was John Lennon and the Walrus was Paul McCartney. I had never heard of that. It's a song? I Am the Walrus? It's fun. I don't ever recall that song. I would think that might have been a song I might have enjoyed. Josh Street says, is this game worth $4? Marvel Avengers, the definitive edition. I mean, maybe to somebody who cares about Marvel's Avengers, not to me, because I'm not a fan of it, but maybe to somebody. Forza says the Earth will turn into Venus in 1 billion years. Earth is basically doomed. The good news is we have time to figure the problem out. Yeah, but within 1 billion years, Forza, we're going to have probably 10 dinosaur extinction level meteors or asteroids hit the planet. So we're doomed before we become Venus, right? I mean, and before an asteroid hits the planet, we have a fucking super volcano that's going to erupt. Maybe 2. So, how do we deal with all these issues? And not to mention the mega tsunamis and the earthquakes. And, at this point, we're just going to fucking run out of air. We're going to run out of air and water. Editor of Jill says, thanks, you are welcome. The Random Menace says, in 15 minutes, the first Zoom meeting, I do not want to work. I should win the lottery. I wish it works. I wish it worked like that. In fact, I've got to buy some lottery tickets for Powerball. Thank you for reminding me. Daniel's Hot Topic says, Sonic the Hedgehog rules. I grew up with the shows and the games. I got into comics in my room. Sonic the Hedgehog, Princess Sally, Anthony Rotor, the Walrus, and the big bad Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Man, I'm sure I got half those names wrong. Mr. Lodell's Groovy Movie says, Qapla, Mekhleth to the gut, Batleth to the face, Mekhleth to the gut, Qapla, Mr. Lodell. And Daniel says, Dr. Robotnik had a city called Robotropolis. It's where he operated from. Mr. Lodell says, in a billion years, we'll have Stargate technology and would have colonized at least a third of the Milky Way. I hope so. I hope so. Last on the case is 2 songs, actually. John sings I Am the Eggman in one song, and another song John sings, I Have a Clue for You All. The walrus was Paul. And Joshua says, here I thought the Earth would turn into Mercury in 3 or 5 billion years. I think both. The Random Menace says the Grand Canyon will go up. It's not a question if, it's a question of when. Grand Canyon will go up? Go up what? Up in flames? It's not a supervolcano. Yellowstone is the supervolcano, not the Grand Canyon. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Bird O'Prey, Mom O'Prey, Sis O'Prey, and Ball Buster, Nephew O'Prey, and fellow nerds. Can't stay long at work, but wanted to drop by and give the stream a like. Thank you so much, Mountains of Elysium. And also says, greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Awoo! Thank you, Mountains. I miss those chats. Bradley Briggs says, I think birds being nice, first thing he's going to destroy Earth and every human on its humans themselves. We have to learn to get along and take care of this planet before we worry about anything. I think there's a lot of things we need to worry about. A lot. Too much. So just say, F it. F it. What does it matter? We shouldn't exist. We shouldn't exist. I think the best, most moral thing we can do is end suffering. And how do we end suffering? We have to end existence. All existence. For all time. That's the only way to end the suffering. There's too much suffering. It's got to stop. Forza Jersey says, Bird, did you see the movie 2012? Woody Harrelson broadcasted from Yellowstone supervolcano as it blew like a madman. Would you live stream New York getting destroyed? I mean, I can't go out and about and live stream. I mean, if I could walk, then yeah, I would go out, sure, and live stream it. But in my current condition, no, because to be honest, the only thing I see of outside is via the security cameras, and the cameras have like a 1 second delay. So by the time whatever comes, it's going to destroy the camera before I ever get a chance to see it. So if the meteor or whatever comes, I'll never know. No. Yeah, I do remember the blue sky over Queens that night. I thought the aliens had come. I thought something was going down. It turned out to be a transformer. I'd never seen anything like it. It really screwed everything up. But that was a crazy one. The Random Menace is so sorry. Not sorry. Sorry. He says, sorry. Messed up my geography. I meant Yellowstone. No worries, Random Menace. I gotcha. Exactly. And it's going to happen. It's not an if. It's a when. Mountains of Elysium says, don't worry about natural disasters. Greta Thunberg will cull the human population long before the Earth does. Well, either way. All hail Greta, says Forza Jersey. These are all serious things, though. It's fun. It's fun to laugh at them, but it doesn't make it go away. It just means we won't think about it too hard, because if we do, we come to the unfortunate conclusion that there's nothing we can do about it. So let's just have fun while we can. Daniel says, Transformers in disguise. Oh, wait. Forza Jersey says, do you think aliens will invade before natural disasters destroy us all? Forza, that's an honest question that I'm sure I put more thought into that than most people. Probably more thought into it than is healthy. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I don't know if I would prefer it. Would we prefer aliens? Because what would aliens do? Like, I highly doubt aliens want slaves. I mean, it's easier, I'm sure, to build a robot that can do whatever you need it to do than it is to take over a planet, provide food, energy, clothing, medication, some basic stuff for a slave race, and expect them to, not to overthrow or do something to harm you back. It makes no sense. If you have the technology to travel between the stars, you have the technology to build a robot that can do anything you want it to do, and it does it without question and without risk of overthrowing you. So it doesn't make sense aliens would want us, or the only things that aliens I could imagine might need are resources. So if they came to the planet, they might just like suck all the water up and leave us to die, which I assume we would do ourselves if we ever became spacefaring and needed resources, which is unfortunate. And hey, Mr. Lundell, Qapla.
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 Hey, so you're talking my language now. Aliens invading. Ain't gonna happen.
No, aliens aren't going to come.
Just based on the distances, you can forget about that.
So you really think that there's no aliens have ever come to Earth before?
I don't
And that
think so.
you don't think we're ever going to find a way to travel faster than light?
Uh, Not according to physics.
Well, not
That's
according to physics we know now, but well, I mean, even physics we know now do have technically, there are ways to travel faster than light.
no, but
Just we
the
have no way of doing it yet.
the energy costs. Okay, you can't create that much energy. Well, you can't generate that much energy to do that.
Welcome, Daniel.
Hi, Bird. Hi, Mr. Londell. What's up?
Hey, Daniel. I mean, let's just that's an impossibility to travel faster than light. Nothing travels faster than light. Okay, now that was the fun part about the movie and the series Stargate. Okay, they're not relying on spaceships, and come to find out, according to Event, that is a physical possibility. Stargates creating wormholes like that is possible. It's just and then since it's grounded on a planet, you possibly can find a way to generate the amount of energy it would take to create a wormhole between two known points.
47 York says, see you later, Bird. I got to go finish some lobster.
Oh,
God damn it.
I know.
Hungry now.
Mukbang.
And Forza Jersey seems to be also of the opinion that aliens that can reach us won't need us or the planet.
Yeah, that's something else. Okay, if you can travel that fast, then why in the hell would you want to deal with us? We are on a technological level below where Christopher Columbus found Native Americans to them. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably true. But why would we do things to explore, to seek out new life and new civilizations? Why climb a mountain? Because it's there. Surely somewhere in the universe, some species would have the desire to meet other species, at least.
Yeah, only if they have the mentality of the Roman Empire.
See, that's the other thing, though, is that the universe is so many 14. Okay, first, I don't believe for a second that we have any way of knowing with any actual reality anywhere close to how old the universe really is. We know it's very, very, very old.
Yeah.
Okay, whether it's 14 billion or 140 billion, who knows? But it's so old. How is it that no other race hasn't conquered it yet? The entire universe.
See, that's it. That's the thing. It's a 99% probability that there are other civilizations, at least at our level, across the universe. I mean, but look how long it will take us just to travel to the nearest sun that we know has planets revolving around it. And and even the light, the distance that we measure from the light from that star, how long it takes to get to Earth by light, by a couple hundred light years or however many, one light year is a distance we couldn't cover, let alone 300 or 1,000. I mean, just think about that. These are massive distances.
Yeah.
We're talking about trying to travel. And you're going to do that in a spaceship? I doubt it. You know.
I guess reality, we'd be sending drones if we could.
Yeah.
Forza Jersey says AI also isn't the existential threat we think, because AI is not competing for resources with us. It can expand indefinitely out into space. Okay, two things. One, I really don't think AI is an existential threat, but it is competing with resources from us. Should it become a threat, it needs electricity, it needs power. It's going to need the same resources we use.
True.
It can't expand infinitely anywhere without resources.
Yeah, it needs power, it needs raw materials to make circuits and whatever, and so gold, iron, lead, it needs all of that.
Indy Tiger asks, how old is it? The universe? Indy, it really doesn't matter whether it's 1,000 or a million, a billion, trillion years old. It's old.
Well,
although the Random
theory
Menace says it could have been created last Thursday. I suppose that's also true.
It's a bit older than last Thursday. Okay, I remember last Thursday, so.
Well, maybe you don't remember it. Maybe it's you were created with false memories.
No, I was here last Thursday. Damn it, don't go that way. No, but
Mark Rouse says, has anybody heard about the bird? Forza says, AI can leave us all behind. If we don't bottle it up here, we'll be in danger if we try to keep it captive here. I don't know if that's how AI is going to work, but it's possible.
The thing about AI is it's going to need a slave. It's going to need servants, slaves, and who's to say we wouldn't end up those slaves? Now, I know LDG, he loves to, defend machines taking over. But I mean that's a mental deficiency on his part.
Forza says, false. I created the universe yesterday afternoon for kicks. And Bradley Briggs says, AI will just go Terminator. It'll learn it doesn't need us. And Mountain says the answer is 42. And with that, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a pill.
Oh, Bird's taking his medicine. Okay. So, anywho, these AI topics, we do this like in the underground or after one of my movie watch parties a lot, and everyone seems, except for maybe one person, to not have a problem distrusting AI. Why would you want a tool running your life? Think about that. Like, AI, basically, it's a hammer, a screwdriver, or a saw. Why would you want any of those tools actually controlling your life? Not only will they'll be telling you when to go to sleep, when to wake up, what you're going to eat, what you're going to do. It's certain hours of the day.
That sounds like government.
Yeah, well, if you get a chance, watch the movie Colossus: The Forbin Project. I've done a watch party on it. If need be, I'll do another one, and you'll see. And this was a book written like in the '60s, and it brings those fears we have now about artificial intelligence to the to the forefront. And frankly,
Or is it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Or the Jersey asks, does anyone believe teleporters or replicators can happen? I don't know about teleporters, but replicators, I mean, basically a very, fancy, very sophisticated 3D print. Yeah, I think it could.
That's basically what a replicator is a 3D printer.
Yeah, I think we'll have in enough time, whether it's 100 or 1,000 years, assuming we don't get destroyed by the, mega tsunami or asteroid or whatever. I think there will be devices that can basically replicate just about anything, smaller than a bread box or whatever, that people have in their homes. And larger ones for more industrial equipment. Things will just be assembled on an atomic level. And whatever you need, it just builds it for you. But that is totally within the realms of physics. A teleporter, a lot harder. I don't know about teleporter. In fact, I would say of all the Star Trek technology, including warp drive, I would say the teleporter, the transporter, is less likely.
Yeah,
than a warp drive.
You run into Heisenberg's uncertainty principle with teleporters. And there's one problem with replicators, though. Your meat won't have a soul.
That's true. That's true. Well.
I mean, that's the point you brought up a long time ago, that you wanted your steak to once upon a time have had a soul. Okay, so
there's debate in Star Trek whether meat from or food from a replicator, is it replicate or is it resequenced protein? Indy Tiger says, that was a setup for Johnny Carson type joke. Johnny says something is old. The audience responds, how old is it? Oh, and Johnny says, it's so old, God respects it as an elder, or something like that. I got you, Indy. Sorry, I wasn't sure if it was I figured it was set up for something, but to be honest, I thought you were going to, I mean, I don't know all your personal beliefs, but I was wondering if you were going to say that, you were I don't know if you are a young Earth creationist, but I thought you were going to say Earth is, 5,000-6,000 years old. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I can't. Yeah. I don't know if it is or it isn't. I do know in college, the first time I met somebody who honestly and earnestly believed the world was 6,000 years old. I was, and they were an engineer. I was shocked. It was like meeting my first flat earther. I was like, you can't. I honestly was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're an engineer. You took the science classes I took. How could you possibly believe the Earth is only 6,000 years old? I thought shouldn't even be allowed to practice engineering. That how could they be so ridiculously off?
Okay, Bird.
Then I listen.
People that believe that are such a minority. Okay, come on. I mean that they are such a minority. I wonder even why, you know, atheists and such give them any credence.
Well, here's the thing,
Because
Mr.
any other
Lundell.
Christian will tell you we're talking thousands and thousands, millions of years. You know, because God is an infinite being.
Well,
Okay, yes,
that's what the
okay
thing that
in Genesis they use terms like God created the world in 6 days. But what is one day to a being that knows infinity? How long a time is that to that being?
well,
Okay.
the way I was going to say it is over the years, however, I've
Yeah.
come to realize that you know what? We don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I would bet, don't get me wrong, I would bet that the Earth is at least in the millions, if not billions of years old. Okay. If we were taking a bet, I would surely place my money there. But
Yeah.
do we know for sure? No. And there's no way of knowing, to be frank, there is no way of knowing that the Earth wasn't created last Thursday. And that everything we know or we think we know was just put in our minds, because that's the whole thing about it. You don't know. I mean, I would say God doesn't want us to think the earth is 6,000 years old, because God certainly seemed to create, if you go with the theory, the Christian theory, at least, from what I read in the Bible and Genesis, God created us in his image. So clearly he gave us brains in that respect. He wanted us to think for ourselves. He wanted us to use, I would imagine, use rational, facts and whatnot to make decisions. So from everything we see, we certainly would have good reason to think the earth is older than it is. And per your own, you just described it, just because the Bible says it's only, days, 6 days or whatever,
Well, that's
we
a
certainly have
metaphor.
reason to believe that that was, for story, not ever meant to be a literal translation. So, you know, it's, I want to say it's God's own fault. If he wanted us to think it was 6,000 years old, he could have easily done something to
Now,
make us believe that.
we'll see where they get that actual figure from. Is they're trying to add up how old, it Genesis gives people how old they lived or how long they lived in Genesis, and you can't do that.
Good night,
Okay,
math man.
that's like I'm okay. The perfect analogy is a flat earther. Despite all the evidence contrary, there are people just all of a sudden out of the freaking blue, they want to say the earth is flat. Okay, show me and then you tell them, show me the edge. No, we're going to get on a plane or on a boat and we're going to go to the edge and take me to the edge of the earth. You can't do it. And they know you can't do it.
Yeah.
So especially flat earthers, I laugh at them. These 6,000-year-old Earth people, I laugh at them because they are not. They're not. Even they may be considering themselves Christians. They're not reading the text. They're not paying attention to it
I
because
don't know if I would say I laugh at them though, Mr.
well, not
Bell.
if
That's the
it
thing. I
to say God did this on the first day, that's a metaphor. Okay, to say God created the world in 6 days, that's a metaphor because whoever wrote that story down used used a description that people could easily understand, and you understand one day better than you do a billion years, or well, this is like 4 billion years is the estimated age of Earth. 4 billion is a number. 4 billion years. That's a number. It's hard to wrap your head around, especially when you're using stone knives and bear skins.
Indy Tiger says, "Good night, all. Have a great stream, Bert." Thank you, Indy. Hope you have a wonderful night
Yeah. Night,
as
Indy.
well. Mountains of Elysium says, "I looked over the edge of the world. I saw it wasn't turtles, but assholes all the way down."
That's a good one.
Somebody on YouTube recently said this, and I forget who it was, and I'd never heard it put this way, but it's, and maybe it's a famous quote or something that I just never heard of before. But when I started thinking about it, I realized that's what's changed. That's what's changed in my life since getting sick. And I still the same person that I was. At least I think my brain, I think I still make the same decisions initially that I would have made in the past, but I temper it now. What they had said was, how do I put it? How did they put it? You decide at some point in your life if you'd rather be right or kind. And eventually they decided that they'd rather be kind than right.
Huh.
And maybe that's conceited, but I feel like when I was in my 20s, I would be right. I would rather be right. If you had asked me would I rather be right or kind, I'd say I'd rather be right. It's not even a question. Now, though, I'm really thinking that I'd rather be kind to somebody than right. And is kind, is.
Yeah, but it's possible to be both.
Yeah. Oh, if you could be both, then obviously that's ideal. The question is when you can't be both.
It's called tact.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to measure, I hate to say it this way because I the needs of the many type situations, because we can't live in a world where every decision is the needs of the many versus the needs of the few, because then the needs of, minority would have no, I'm not saying minorities, I'm saying minority would never have any protection.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, 11 of you want to tax the other 9 to death. So that's what we'll do.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfectly legit. needs of the many situation, but that's not doesn't work for society. So I hate that saying it. But I mean, if you rather be kind and say, well, you know, if somebody asked, is I don't know. It's hard to come up with an example, I guess, offhand. Actually, it's not hard, but I don't want to use an example like, well, because nobody ever asks. They ask, "Do I look fat in this?" They don't ask, "Am I fat?" And what would you rather be kind and say no, or would you rather be right and say, "Yeah, maybe you should go on a diet"? Because neither is particularly helpful.
Yeah.
But one somebody feels bad, and in the other, maybe they don't feel bad, but they also might not look to get healthy. I don't know. It just
Well, I mean that's that just you just brought up. I mean, images of that Geico commercial with Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln, and she asked, Did she look fat?"
uh,
And well, she was a little fat broad, but you know.
Bradley Briggs says it's the free will thing we got from eating the apple. We can all believe whatever we wish.
True.
Mountain says, I read that. Captain MKG says, hey, all, Qapla, Captain. Good to see you. Last on the case is, as we get older, we decide which hills are worth dying on and which are better to walk away from. Yeah, I guess that's it too.
Yeah.
Tired of fighting some of the battles. It's not worth it, I guess. In the scheme of things, you I don't know, reassess your chess pieces on the board of life, and you pull back on some things.
Yeah. That and you just learn how to use them better.
Some things aren't worth chasing. Just keep them away. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Random Menace is back, not willing to die on a hill. A hammock on a beach with a drink sounds way better. That does sound better, Random Menace. It does. Well, it's coming up on 3:30 a.m. I think I'm coming up on Sleep 2. I think Sleep 2 is coming soon. So, yeah. Well, naturally coming towards a low point. Mr. Lundell, what's going on with you? What do you have going on lately?
Not much right now. I think I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to spend the day. I got to spend a few hours of the day in reflection on a couple things because I think I want to retire next year since I'll be old
Wow.
enough to. I'll be old enough to. I think I want to retire next year, so I got to do some thinking about some stuff about what I'm doing now and do I take this time to try and grow my channel or what, you know. I'll see, we'll see.
Oh, guys, before we go, I did want to put in the chat. Jedi Bill has created a GoFundMe. Putting the link in. He needs money for he's trying to get a new computer. He had gotten one, but it ended up getting damaged. So he's looking to get it rebuilt or use new parts, have somebody kind of replace the motherboard and power supply. Whether he ends up mailing it to LDG or he finds someone local in Tucson, it's still up in the air, but he's going to need components either way. So if you could help out, it would be a big help to him. Especially, if you go to his streams and you listen and you do the karaoke and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff you watch the movies. That's the type of stuff he needs help with continuing. So please, if you can, donate. I know it's not a big GoFundMe, but whatever you can do would help. And if you can't give, if you could share it, it would be appreciated. I've given some, but I wish I could give more. So. Last on the cases, and debating an idiot isn't worth the fight. They'll only bring you down to their level. Amen. A fucking man.
True.
Daniel, you got anything you want to say before we go?
Well, I got nothing planned except I'm trying to get my podcast up and running, but it all depends on the host of that show, right? So yeah, and he's busy, so there's nothing I can do about it, which sucks.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, about the whole Earth thing, I think the Earth is like billions of years old. I think it's billions of years old. And I heard some people say humanity is about 6,000 years old, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's older than that. I heard some people tell me that it's around 3 to 4 million years old. I like the sound of that. I think that sounds cool.
I mean, the thing is, when people say humanity, it's like, I don't know if they mean modern human or Neanderthals or what.
I think they mean humans in general, like when we were like born or created, when the species started to now.
The current species, Homo sapien. And then sometimes they call it Homo sapien sapien? Like, is that a different species? Because okay. And I know that there are theories that the human race or that civilization started much, much earlier. But current scientific consensus puts civilization at like about 10,000 years old, right? Mesopotamia,
Egypt.
Stuff, the cradle of maybe it's 15,000 years, maybe it's 5,000 years, but it's somewhere within like where there's about 10,000 years of free, 10,000 BC. It tends to be the relative start of civilization around the world. So for, I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands or millions of years that the actual Homo sapien species existed on the planet as completely as, hunter gatherers, basically like chimpanzees, not really doing anything, not forming any type of society. And then all of a sudden we started farming and all hell broke loose. So I don't know. I don't know if I trust that. Random Menace says, and I'll assume he's correct because he often is, says the Earth, again, this is scientific consensus. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and Homo sapiens around 300,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. Okay. So for 290,000 years, we were just pretty much living as animals. And then we started, all of what we see now is all from, societies, civilizations that started within the last 10 to 20,000 years. And this is the ape-like Homo habilis is 2.4 million years. Okay, so that's that's the where we started to differentiate. Is in the millions of years. That makes, I would say it makes sense, but I understand that theory. I don't know. When you look at how much we've changed in, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years, and then you start adding millions, I think, wow. Random Menace is as smart as Google. Funny how that works. Well, anyway. Before we reignite the debate, I think we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys all for coming up. Thank you, Miss Londell and Daniel, for coming up on the panel. Thank you, everybody who hung out in the chat with us today. I'm going to try and get some sleep, and we'll see tonight, but Wednesday if we do Enterprise. Hopefully. Still planning to do Enterprise later tonight. This afternoon, I guess, technically. So we'll see. Words and Pictures says, may you have exciting, sexy sci-fi dreams. Thank you, Words and Pictures. Bradley Briggs says, live long and prosper, y'all. Have a good day, night, everyone. And last on the case says, thank you, Bird. Have a great day or night, day all. Indeed. And we'll give everybody a good night with some kissing death.